As I spoke this morning, 76% of the people living in this country are living paycheck by paycheck. That's close to 80% of your family members are living paycheck by paycheck. And we all have to ask this simple question. Are all this 80% of the people are born to be not smart? Are all of this 80% of the people just not working hard? Or could it be this 80% of people not being educated the right way by the right people? Our company's crusade is not only educating our consumer to protect their asset, the biggest crusade is to teach our people how to create massive income. Income solves problems. Lack of income don't solve any problems. That's the problem that most of you being taught in your life, in your business venture, in corporate America, is to play the defensive mode game. You have $1,000. How do you keep the $1,000? That is a failing formula. And our company is going to teach you how to take this $1,000 and multiply and get to 100 grand. Creating income, massive income, will solve all of the problems. America doesn't have debt problems. America have income problems because nobody teaching you. About a week and a half ago, somebody asked me this question. Can everybody become a leader? Is everybody a leader? Every single one of you, and as a matter of fact, every single human being in this world, they are already a leader. Our kids, there's bullying other kids in school. That's a leader. Somebody walking around you and challenge you to do less, try to influencing you negatively to do less. That's a leader. David Carroll is a leader because he's trying to influence you positively. So it's not a question if you guys are a leader or not, because we all are leader. The question you need to be asking yourself is, what kind of leader do you want to become? Do you want to be a leader just go around challenging people to do less? Do you want to be a leader just gossip around about other people's business? Do you want to be a leader that just want to influence people negatively? Or do you want to be a leader that influence people positively? Challenging people to do more, think bigger, make more, and helping more people. In your life, you're going to have to make 3 decisions. The first decision you have to make is, who do you commit to learn from? We are all learning something from somebody. Do you want to commit to learn from somebody who built a company, been there, done that, still doing it, failed many times, at the end eventually succeeded? Or do you just want to learn from motivational speakers? That's all up to you. Second decision you have to make is, who do you want to be? Not what other people want you to be. Do you want to be known as somebody 5, 10 years down the road, just somebody make a lot of money? Do you want to be known as someone just have all this fancy stuff, nice car, nice clothes, that's it? Or do you want to know as someone that influence other people so they can become better? Or do you want to be known as somebody that you are not a celebrity, but you are an influencer? There's a big difference between a celebrity and influencer. Celebrity is about themselves. Influencer is influencing you to believe in something that you never believe in. And the third decision you have to make is, what are you willing to give to get? If you look at the final product of a successful entrepreneur, we all tend to think that he or she is so sexy, handsome, amazing, but you never understand the comeback stories, the hustle, the dark to dark. Wake up in the morning, the sun is not out. They go home, the sun is already out. That's from dark to dark. You don't see that. So those are the 3 decisions that we all have to make as a leader, as a human being, as a father, as a mother, as an entrepreneur. But if you do it right, I promise you one thing. The sun is waiting for you when you wake up one day.
Growing up, we were all taught always to look and search for the right answers. Think about every exam you took in elementary school, middle school, high school and also in college. They were all designed for you to pick the right answers from the multiple choice questions. The traditional school system challenges us only to give the right answer to exam questions. Sometimes the answers you believe to be true may not be in those multiple choice questions. I believe in order to get to the right answers, you have to learn how to ask the right questions constantly. Asking the right questions can potentially change your life and many others as well. Have you ever asked yourself these deep questions? Who do you want to become in the next 5 years? What are you willing to give up to get what you are going after? Who is in your ear? Who is the person that is influencing you the most, negatively or positively? What career path will you commit to in order to build your dreams? What kind of parents do you want to become? If you don't find the right career or opportunity right now, how will you make money to provide for your family and sustain your lifestyle? If you are not the one who will commit to making money to provide for your family, who will do it for you? You have to realize that it is up to you to adapt, work, and provide for your own family. Lastly, if you don't do it right now, then when are you going to really do it? How much time do you still have left where you have the energy to perform at your best? 10 years? 15 years? Or maybe 20 more years? The reality is, the older you get, the harder it is to find the energy to be productive. Something tells me many of you are not asking these deep questions to yourself. For many years, I have asked myself these tough questions. Once I dig deep and come up with my own authentic answers, my life changed completely for the better. It gave me so much clarity to go after my dream and elevate to the next dream. Now I challenge you to do the same and start asking yourself tough questions. Don't be in a hurry to get the right answers, because the goal is not to get the right answers. The goal is to get the most authentic solution. Once you can do that, you will find clarity, power, and peace within to achieve whatever you dreamed of.
A warm TFC welcome, Mr. Jack Wu.
All right. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you. Let's talk about success. Success, everybody defines success differently. At the end of it all, deep inside your heart, you want to achieve success. To some people, success might be just owning a nice car, Lamborghini. To some people could be, let me live in that dream house that I always dream about when I was a little kid. That could be success to you. To some people could be, you know what, one day I want to make enough money so I can travel around the world. That could be success to some of you. Hopefully one day some of you might get to a level where you can truly give back, whether it's with your time, whether it's with your knowledge, teaching people how to become successful, or ultimately, maybe you're blessed enough to give back the money that you earn. First, let me begin by saying money and success to me is not an entitlement. It's a blessing. Unfortunately, through 22 years being in the sales business, as an entrepreneur, I see a lot of people, when they get to a level where they start to make money or massive income, they started to think that it is all entitlement. I'm better than you. I'm greater than you. But in reality, everything that we have today is because you are blessed, whether it's with great health, maybe you're in an amazing relationship with somebody you're truly in love with, or maybe you are in a career that you have passion about and you're lucky, blessing enough to have that career, while most people are still searching today. Now, there is not a day that people don't ask me, how do you get to a level of success that you can generously donating money to different charities and giving away to people? That's what I want to talk about today.
The only difference between me right now than most people out there, it could be to some of you right now, is one thing. I graduated from one level of success to another level and to another level. Today I want to talk about evolution of success. To me, the evolution of success has 4 stages. The first stage is survival. Second stage is recognition. Third stage is financial freedom. And the last stage, very few people can actually get to, is legacy. So let me begin by sharing with my little humble story. I came to the United States in 1986. All right, I came from Hong Kong, China. I came here. My dad was the one who got here much earlier than me, my brothers, and my mother. And we came to this country very, very happy because my dad used to work for a very, very large company in Greenbelt, Maryland, okay? And he was the chief engineer, and the name of the company is called NASA. And back then, 20 some odd years ago, my dad was making $80,000 a year. Life was amazing. Life was perfect. I never, ever thought that my career actually would turn out to be an entrepreneur and sales, because my dad was a scholar. He never ever wanted us to be in sales or as an entrepreneur. He wanted us to be an engineer like him. But unfortunately, one thing that I learned about in life is that bad things do happen to good people. Unfortunately, in 1989, 3 years after I reunited with my dad, or came to this country, he was diagnosed having liver cancer and passed away 90 days after the diagnosis. And after that, my mother, who never worked one day in her life after she came to the United States, had to come out and work 10 hours a day, 6 days a week to raise up 3 kids. I have 2 older brothers, okay? And that was the time my life completely shifted and changed. And that was the time I realized one thing, guys. Just because you believe in God, just because you're a good human being, just because you have spiritually very strong, does not mean bad thing is not going to happen to you. That was the time I came out and starting to look for different opportunities. My only goal back then was to make an additional $2,000 a month in anything that I can touch on. Whatever career, whatever business, whatever job. It's simply to support my mother. And I ran through many, many different opportunities. And finally, at the age of 20 years old, through accident, all right? Through coincidence, I ran into the life insurance industry. I was invited to a seminar. I was sitting all the way back in a hotel called DoubleTree Hotel back in Maryland. I still remember the hotel. It was on Rockville Pike. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I was a shy little kid, introverted, no confidence. I was sitting all the way in the back and listening to the speaker about finance, about insurance. At the end of that meeting, the only thing I got out of that, the whole entire meeting was 2 things. Number 1, wow, life insurance. He mentioned about life insurance. Why every family need to have life insurance? I said, immediately I had a connection. I said, wow, that's pretty strong. That is something that my father never had. That's why we had to struggle after my dad passed away. And the second reason, the second thing that I got out of the presentation is that I can make some good money. You know, I can make an additional few $1,000s a month while I was going to school. Cool. So I started the industry. I started a business at the age of 20 years old. And I passed my life insurance license at the age of 21 years old. So I was desperate. So people asking me, how do you get to a level where I can make multiple 7-figure income a year now? For me, it was easy, ladies and gentlemen. It was desperation. Remember this, in life, you're not going to change unless you have 2 things. Either inspiration or desperation. That's why people don't like to change. When I first started, I wasn't inspired about anything. It wasn't charity, I assure you that. I just donated, $36,000, close to that, Jerry, to help Filipinos. Just so you know, I'm not Filipino. I'm Chinese. I believe that, when you help people, it doesn't have boundaries. It shouldn't have boundaries. For me, when I'm donating money, it's about connections with a charity. What is the purpose of that? I don't care what nationality you're in. If I found a connection, I would love to help with my time, my knowledge, and ultimately with my money. So let me get back to what I was saying. I believe that most people don't change today is because they lack of either inspiration or desperation. For me, I was desperate. My only purpose back then was to make enough money part-time in the insurance business while I was going to school so I can retire my mother. And of course, with a lot of hard work, with a lot of commitment, failed my face off many, many times. Nobody wanted to listen to me at the age 21 years old selling life insurance. Imagine how difficult that is. But I always believe in one thing, my friends. When you have a will, you're going to find a way. It's not the how to do something. To me, it's always the why. If you can't figure out the why, you're not going to do anything. At least you're not going to do anything beyond your comfort zone, right? So I knew my why. My why was to retire my mother initially. It was survival, right? Evolution of success, the step number one was what? I was desperate. I want to survive. I don't want to be hungry. My father is no longer next to me. So I was working extremely hard, 15 hours a day. And eventually, after my first year in the insurance business, I made $150,000 at the age of 21 years old, selling life insurance, and nobody wanted to listen to a 21 years old guy to sell life insurance. And yet, I was making over $150,000. And people don't ask me, there's not a day, people don't ask me, how did you do it? How did you do it? How did you do it? You were only 21 years old. Let me explain to you, when I'm selling something, when I was selling life insurance, I was not selling the product only. I was selling love. You know, I was sharing with people my story, why they need to have protection. If you pass away, what will happen to your kids? Because I used my real life example and people bought into my passion. They bought into my belief. So I am letting my audience to know today, you know, everything in life is about sales. You know, you're selling to your boss every day to get a raise. Your kids are selling to you why they need to be watching an extra 30 minutes of TV, right? As an entrepreneur like me, or decided and committed to be an entrepreneur one day, you have to sell to your people why should they own your products. Now, before you sell the products, you have to sell your belief. Do you really believe in what you do, or are you just doing for the money? So that was the first level of success. I got through the survival part. Life was pretty good, right? Then eventually I got to the second level of success, and that was recognition. I was in my company where it was a lot of different salespeople, like you guys have different colleagues, right? At the end, everybody have to show their value to your company. You want a raise, am I right? It's no difference than me working in a sales company than you working as either an employee or independent contractor, right? We all have to add value. So the second level of success for me was recognition. I want to stand out. I want to stand out among the peers, the people that I'm working with. Because when I was a little kid, I had no confidence. My dad passed away. Not to even mention my personality was an introverted individual. So I wanted to stand out because I felt that was the moment I can shine. Because I finally found something that I'm passionate about. I finally found something that I can wake up in the morning, get excited about. And I knew at that moment that was my chance to stand out and get recognized. And everybody wanted to be loved. Everybody wanted to belong to a community. And I got into an environment where I can rise above and stand out. And I work 15 hours a day, nonstop, every single day. You know, I was running sales appointment, at least 5 to 6 on a daily basis. And back then, there was no navigation system, okay? There was no cell phone. You know how I was driving. When I would go to an appointment, you know how I do it, right? I was with my brother, Rex. We were driving and we have remember the map? Different county. Oh my God, we have to go to different counties and change different maps. And I was literally so tired that when the traffic light turned red, I had to close my eyes and I look at my brother and say, look, when the red light turned green, wake me up. There's no overnight success, okay? If you ever look at anybody who can get to the highest level of anything, remember, they work for it. People say, what is the magic bullet? There is no magic bullet. What is the magic pill? There is no magic blue pill. If I'm gonna give you one magic blue pill, and that is work. Work. So I spent 15 hours a day, and by the time I was 24 years old, I was making $250,000 income a year. Now remember, that's US dollars, okay? Not Filipino money, all right? Life was pretty good. But of course, along the way, I made a lot of stupid mistakes. all the money I made. From 21 to 24, I overspent. I bought stupid things. I spent my money recklessly, and by the age of 24 years old, I ended up with about $70,000 in my credit card debt with no money in the bank account, less than a few $1,000s, okay? You know people like that makes a lot of money, but at the end they have nothing to show for? You're looking at one. Make those mistakes, all right? I was very blessed. I was very blessed that in my life I have few great mentors. I don't have a lot of mentors. I have few great ones. 3. One taught me how to sell. One taught me about principles. One taught me about strategies. Okay? I don't believe you should have 20 different mentors in life. I don't believe in that. Because when you learn from 20 different mentors, you get confused now. I believe in handpicked 1 or 2 good mentors, somebody you want to become, somebody you look up to, somebody you have connection with, somebody you share the same value. And if you find those 1 or 2 mentors, listen to what he or she telling you and do exactly what he or she telling you to do. And then eventually the third level of success for human beings and ultimately for me was, I want to help people. Money is good. And I knew deep inside my heart, everybody talk about, I want to help my church. I want to help my communities. I want to help people around me. But the reality is that you can't help people until you got money, yes or no? Yes, let's be authentic, let's be practical. Everybody say they want to help everybody. How can you help everybody else if you're still living in a nightmare yourself? So I realized that I got to get to the third stage of success. Remember what that was? Financial freedom. Financial freedom for me is at least 7-figure. $1 million a year, at least. Because I knew if I had the money, I can do more. I can help more. Now, let me touch the subject of money a little bit so all of you have some clarity on the subject of money. Most people today, they are broke is because they feel, and they've been learning from people who preaching on this subject, money is the root of all evil. Money will make you a bad person. And that's what I've been taught up when I was a little kid by traditional adults, parenting and all that stuff. But I'm here to tell you that's absolutely nonsense. Money doesn't change who you are. Money only reveals who you already are. If you're a bad human being, bad person, if you're evil, if you're a manipulator with more money, you become worse. Agree? If you're already a good human being, which I hope and I feel that all of you are, with more money you can help more people, yes or no? I never changed. When I was a broke little kid, I was always giving. I was always generous because the value was taught by my mom and dad. With more money, I can help more entrepreneurs in the world. I can help more charities. I can donate more knowledge and time. To get to a financial freedom level, what do you have to do? Can you just work by yourself to make millions of dollars? That was the time I learned how to develop others, leaders in my company. That was the time I taught them my knowledge. If I can get somebody in my organization make $500,000, money is going to automatically come back to me in the long haul. It's about developing other people, their identities. Because nobody want to build your kingdom forever. Is can you put your ego aside and helping other people to build their own kingdoms? And I eventually mastered that skill. Took me a long time. And I developed a lot of multiple 6 figures and 7 figures earners in my company. And eventually, I'm making multiple 7. It's automatic when you help people. But a lot of people, they don't want to do that. When they get to a level, they want to hide their knowledge. They want to shelter their little own success because they don't want you to be successful. But remember, if you want to get to the highest level of income of anything, focus your time on helping people. Now, the last level of success, which took me a long time to get to, guess what that was? Legacy. By the age I was 27 years old, I wish I was still 27, I made my first $1 million income. Okay? And then it went on from that point on. And I got a little bit bored. You know, when you get all the toys, I drive a Ferrari, got a Lamborghini, all right? I travel lavishly in private jet, first class, and I can afford to eat a dinner that's, back then $1,000 is unreachable for dinner. So about 5 years ago, I was a little bit bored. And one night I woke up, it was 2 a.m. in the morning. And I went to my kitchen, I sat on the table and I say, what will get me fired up? Because I'm still very young. What will get me fired up to keep working for the next 10, 15, 20 years? That was the time I found my true purpose and legacy. So I wrote it down, all right? It's not money anymore. It's not about recognition anymore. Then I wrote down 2 things. The first thing was charity. If I can truly involve my time and money with charity, that will get me going because I want to help people. See, in life, if you don't write things down, it will never become a reality. If you never think about your goal, it will never become a reality. So I'm challenging all of you to believe in your dream, but not only believing in your dream, but most importantly, write down your goals. So I wrote down charity. Now, I never have Just Wish. Today, Just Wish, my charity, donated $35,000, close to $36,000 to build something pretty huge, right? But without written down that goal 5 years ago, this charity would never have been formed. Because of that one moment, and I clearly did some soul searching, immediately my action changed. And now on the right-hand side of that piece of paper, I said, I want to help people who want to be entrepreneur one day, Annie. Because I help enough of my own people in my company, but how about develop my own network of channel to talk about entrepreneurial contents, stuff like this that nobody want to talk about or nobody know how to talk about. And that was time I formed my own production company. And JW Production was formed. And since then, I launched a lot of entrepreneurial contents on my Facebook and my website. And it took a little bit of time for people to know who I am and realize this guy's for real. He's not full of crap. He wanted to help us. He's not trying to make some money. And he's truly teaching me to be successful as well. So that's how my little journey from a little broke little kid and eventually elevated to a level where, I have my true purpose in life. And I hope my little short message with every single one of you today has enlightened you in some aspect. You know what I mean? I believe that life is a race to chase the ultimate version of you. That ultimate version of you do exist, but in the very near future. In order for you to do that, you have to figure out what success means to you. What does it mean to you? By the way, everything I talk about today, I'm not trying to change who you are, okay? I'm not asking to be me. Please, be you, all right? If success means that you want to spend time with your family Saturday and Sunday, see your kids, and you only work 9 to 5, and you make about $90,000 a year, and you want to donate 10% of your income to charity, that make you happy, do that. Do that, no problem. But if your success is right here, then your sacrifice will be more. If the way you define your success is legacy, then understand there's gonna be a lot of sacrifice. You're not gonna see your family all the time. I don't see my kids every day. I travel all the time, all right? With the amount of success I have, with a lot of supporters like you who's supporting me every day, it also attracts a lot of haters, a lot of criticism. These people don't even know me because they're jealous. They don't even know me. They shoot bullets at me every single day. But I know what I'm going after. I'm not going for goodness. I'm going for greatness. If you're going for greatness, you gotta be able to handle criticism. I hope my little message today to ABS CBN has been enlightening one. Because at the end of it all, you have to figure out what makes you happy. Don't ever let anybody tell you what makes you happy. What makes you happy, you figure that out. Because once you figure out who you want to be, what you want to be 5, 10 years down the road, then you go work for that. Dream does come true. If you're willing to work hard, if you surround yourself with the right people, and that's important, it's the power of association. And I always talk about on my videos, your environment every day is more powerful than your own willpower. If you hang around with the wrong people who's negative, whose financial struggle, who complains every day, you will become part of them because you listen to that every day. Get out of that environment. Select the right group of people you want to hang out around with. And eventually you're going to attract few good mentors in your life. But when you attract those few great mentors, and if you find it,
Don't take things for granted. Until you find that mentor, I hope to be your mentor. All right, guys, with that, thank you for the time. Really, I appreciate it very much.
Life is a constant chase to become the ultimate version of yourself. But first, you have to realize who you are, where do you want to go, and who do you want to become. Because if you don't realize those things, you will only be living without means or purpose. Realizing who you are will give you a sense of pride about your capabilities to feel the decisions you make. Where you are in life is a result of circumstances and decisions made over a long period of time. It is up to you to decide where you want to be by tapping into your potential to elevate yourself to another level. Where do you want to go is fueled by your purpose to do more and be more. Lack of clarity equals confusion and frustration. Extreme clarity equals extreme power. Whatever you imagine, your brain miraculously points you in that direction. But only with massive action towards those imaginations can get you to your dream destination. The chase to become the ultimate version of yourself is a never-ending process. There is always another ultimate version waiting for you once you get to one destination. But the ultimate question is, do you have the desire and what it takes to go find the next version of you?
Thank you for the opportunity to speak to 4,000 of you about success today. I bet you wondering, who the heck is this guy? And why did he open a learning hub in Philippines for us? Now, who I am is not important. The message I'm going to be giving to you today is important. Let me begin by saying I'm not a Filipino. I am a Chinese American who lives in the United States of America. I have immigrated to US when I was 12 years old with my family from China. When I immigrated to the United States, life was fantastic. It was amazing at the beginning. But very sadly, my dad had passed away when I was 15 years old because he was diagnosed having liver cancer. From a great life, all of a sudden, it turned to be an awful life. My mother had to come out and work 6 days a week, 10 hours a day to raise up 3 boys. I had 2 older brothers. There was not a day I was happy. There was not a day I felt happy because I look at the way my mother worked and struggled financially and to make the ends meet. That was my very first initial motivation of a very young age, at the age 15 years old, that I wanted to become successful one day so I can retire my mother. But the problem was, I was not the smartest guy in school. My GPA, as a matter of fact, in college was 2.8. What that means, that was below average. And I am sure a lot of you in this school, you are way and way far smarter than I am. When I first started as an entrepreneur at the age of 21 years old, and the only reason why I started as an entrepreneur was two reasons. Number one, I sucked in school. And number two, again, I wanted to retire my mother. At the beginning, many people did not support my dream. Many people laughed at my dream. And many people even tried to kill my dream. But I did not let anyone stopping me of pursuing my dream. What I'm trying to tell you here is that I'm no different than any one of you. I grew up with many challenges, just like a lot of you. The only difference between me and many people who give up in life is that I did not let challenges scare me away. I always believe in one thing. If your dream is bigger than your fear, your life one day will be heavenly. But if your fear is bigger than your dream, then your life will be exactly like everyone else. When people look at my success today, they tend to think how amazing I am. But what they don't see is the comeback stories I have. Today, I want to share with you few important things. If you want to become successful one day, if you want to become successful in life, to show of a hand, how many of you want to be successful in life? Raise your hand. How many of you need to be successful in life? Raise your hand. That's a big difference, right? The first thing you need to do to be successful is never stop learning. One of the main reasons why I built a learning hub for you is because I want people like you to be able to access to information, resources, and knowledge so that I can help you. So this learning hub can help you to excel in school and in every aspect of your life. Let me share with you, successful people constantly seeking for information. They constantly want to find out what else can they learn. They are constantly looking for things that they do not know. Yeah, I understand. Some of you sitting in this room, or maybe outside this auditorium, you might think you are the smartest person in this school. But even if you think like that, you still, I can guarantee you, you still don't know everything. You still need to learn. Two words that will kill your growth as a student. You know what those two words are? I know. You know, unsuccessful people, they always use these two words. I know. Do you know algebra? I know. Do you know who JW is? I know. But successful people, they always say, what do I not know? What can I improve? How can I learn more? That is the main reason why I built the JW Learning Hub for every single one of you. So that way you can elevate your imagination, Keep learning, keep searching, because the moment you say, I know, your brain will shut down. Your brain will be no longer learning from new information, and you don't want to do that. And number two, if you want to be successful, do the work. Do the work. Whatever your passion might be now or in the future, whether you want to be a teacher, whether you want to be a firefighter, a doctor, a nurse, an astronaut, whoever you want to be, whatever your passion might be, do whatever it takes to go after it. But here's one thing I want to make sure you understand. No one is going to do the work for you. Your father is not going to do the work for you. Your mother is not going to do the work for you. Your best friend sitting right next to you is not going to do the work for you. You have to do the work. If you want to be more successful than others, it's quite simple, but not easy. If somebody worked 8 hours a day, you got to work 12 hours a day. If somebody shows up at 9 a.m. in the morning and leaves at 5 p.m., you have to show up at 6 a.m. in the morning and leave at 6 p.m. If somebody reads one book a year, you have to read 50 books a year. There's no magic bullet to success, but there is a magic word to success. You know what that magic word is? Hard work. You want nice clothes? Work hard to get it. You want nice car? Work hard to get it. You want to retire your parents? Work hard to do it. You want to one day open a learning hub in a library like me and donate to auto school? Work hard for it. Until today, I'm still working hard, but I'm working hard for a different purpose, that's all. When I started, main reason working hard was for my mother. I want to retire her. I done that many years ago. Then it was for recognition. I want to become the best among my peers. I want to stand out. Then the third reason was financial freedom, because I don't want to struggle anymore. Because I know if anything is going to happen, it is up to me. Stop complaining when you grow up. Stop complaining right now. If you win, if you become successful, it is because of you. You got whatever it takes to make it happen. But if you lose in life, please don't complain about your parents. Please don't complain about your teachers. Please don't complain about anybody else. It is also because you did not do what it takes to become successful. And then ultimately why I work hard today is for legacy. Is to be able to inspire many of you. When I say inspire you, it doesn't mean that I want to show you how amazing I am, how wealthy I am, how great I am. No. Inspiration is to show others that if I can do it, if an average and ordinary guy like it, I can do it, you can do it as well. The only difference between me and you is I work hard for many, many, many years. Third thing to become successful, you have to find a mentor you look up to and who you want to become one day. Mentorship in life is very important. Coaching and coach is important. It is hard for you to see the big picture if yourself is inside the frame. You got to learn from people who's been there, who's done it, and who's willing to help you out. When you grow up, the first tier of mentors is who? Your teachers. We have close to how many teachers here? 200 teachers. I want you guys to stand up and give them a big round of applause. Stand up, give them a big round of applause. Big round. Life is a series of mentors. You got to learn from one mentor, then get to another mentor, then get to another mentor. It's important because once you graduate, you get out of high school, then you go to college. From college you graduate, and you go into the real world. Ultimately, you need to find a mentor who I call an ultimate mentor. An ultimate mentor to me is someone that's not easy for you to outgrow. Someone that you look up to. Somebody that you want to become one day. I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about value. I'm talking about principle. I'm talking about strategy. I'm talking about what to do next type of mentor. I'm not talking about a mentor who constantly compliment how amazing you are. We have a lot of those good mentors. But an ultimate mentor to me is someone that challenges you to do more. It is somebody who say, you know what you did is not right. You don't need a mentor in life, an ultimate mentor who keeps telling you how amazing you are. I'm a byproduct of many great people taught me a lot of great lessons in life. But I found an ultimate mentor when I was 24 years old. And I follow and work with this ultimate mentor until today. Now we became partners. This guy taught me all the value and everything he knows. So all my success is not about just me making all the money and I did all the work. I have to pay the tribute to the person, to that one ultimate mentor who had gave me all the strength, who corrected me when I was weak, who guided me to become the best version of myself. The fourth thing you gotta do if you want to become successful, it is not afraid to make mistakes. Anyone you see are successful today, they made a lot of mistakes, including me. A lot of mistakes. But the only difference is that they learn from their mistakes. They no longer do it again. If you make a mistake right now and you keep doing it again and again, that is called being dumb. But if today you make a mistake, you learn from it and you never do it again, that is called experience. Always embrace to make new mistakes, but absolutely try not to make any old mistakes. And the last thing finally is stop changing your mind on what you believe in. Another word, don't quit. Don't give up. Because the energy that takes you to quit is the same amount of energy that takes you keep moving forward. I really hope the Just Wish Learning Hub will help you to elevate your knowledge to become the best version of you one day. And I truly hope one day, some of you in here, when you become massively successful, you will give back. You will help other people. You will inspire other people like myself here. Salama, thank you.
Seriously, what does failure mean? It doesn't exist. If you fail on Monday, the only way it's a failure on Monday is if you decide to not progress from that.
If you want to do anything worthwhile in life, you've got to be hungry. And so I started working to develop myself.
If you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful.
I didn't have an easy experience. I didn't have come in as a top-rated recruit. I had to earn it.
God placed the best things in life on the other side of terror. On the other side of your maximum fear are all of the best things in life.
The person you are today wasn't the same person you were a year ago. The person you were a year ago wasn't the same person you were 10 years ago. The evolution of whom you have become today has been the result of many influences around you and the work you have put in to develop yourself. There is a special purpose to fulfill with the life you have been given. The life you have lived so far has shaped you for what you are going to do for the rest of your life. So I ask you today, what if you are that person? The person to overachieve the status quo. The person to lead thinkers to become doers. The person to break generational curse. The person to be a true humanitarian. The person to help the less fortunate. And the person to lead the next great generation. Being that person would demand more sacrifices than you can ever imagine. But what if that person is you, who can change the world? This new year will be my year. I know I said that last year, but this year will definitely be the year. This will be the year I commit to exercising. This will be the year I pay off all my debts. This will be the year I start my own business. This will be the year I accomplish all my goals. Every year, we make New Year resolutions to achieve everything, but along the way, we quit. Studies show that only 8% of Americans who make a New Year's resolution actually succeed. 80% will not only fail, but have failed by the start of February. Do you believe in yourself? Do people believe you when you say you are going to do something? Do you really commit to your goals? As much as succeeding is a habit, failing is also a habit. If you keep failing, then failing becomes acceptable to you. Stop creating goals for each year and start creating goals for each day. Once you start hitting your small daily goals, then you can overcome the bigger yearly goals. Everything you want to accomplish is there for you to take. But you have to set a goal. Create an action plan. Stay committed and hustle to get it. When you create a habit of achieving your goals, then you will become a master of your own commitments. When that happens, you can truly say, this year will be my year.